the cameras very quickly. On the iPhone 12 Pro, as stated before, you have a triple camera setup with a LiDAR sensor. The iPhone XS has a dual camera setup, all 12 megapixel sensors on all these phones. Now you have a telephoto lens and an ultra-wide sensor and a LiDAR sensor on the iPhone 12 Pro with that wide-angle lens, where you only have that telephoto lens with the wide-angle lens on the iPhone XS. Now you can do 4K at 60 on both these phones. But some of the main differences will actually come in terms of the front camera. I think the back camera is going to be about the same. You can kind of see that these colors look a little bit warmer. But on the iPhone XS, on that front camera, you could do 1080p at 60 frames. With the front camera of the 12 Pro, you can do 4K at 60, which that in and of itself is a pretty big deal in my opinion. Now, I think the iPhone XS camera quality is still very good for a majority of things that you're going to do with it. And like I said before, I think a lot of people just want to take their phone out and just do a camera video or photo and just move on, or take a Snapchat or make a TikTok or something. Like, they're not really thinking too hard about the quality of their videos or photos. Now, if you're a filmmaker or something, then obviously the 12 Pro is going to be the better one for you. But I think for a majority of people out there, the back camera of this is pretty good, but you're just going to feel like you have kind of not as great of a front camera in my opinion, because this is 7 megapixels compared to the 12 megapixels on the front camera of the iPhone 12 Pro. But on top of that, 1080p at 60 versus 4K at 60. I'd rather have 4K at 60 than 1080p. And that's why I kind of think the iPhone 12 Pro's camera is probably the better one. I don't think the iPhone XS camera is bad, and I don't even think the iPhone 12 Pro's camera is the best of this year. But I think the 12 Pro's camera, for the most part, gets the job done. The quality is good. It's very predictable, as I said before, and it just gets the job done. There's nothing like you have to worry about. It'll just be able to take the photos, videos, and move on. I think that front camera on this is probably its biggest asset over the XS, because you do have that 4K at 60, so that's a pretty big thing to keep in mind. I think if you have the iPhone XS, it's a good enough camera, but the 12 Pro is probably the better one as expected. So that pretty much covers it up in the camera department. Now, ending it off with